What's up, everyone? Welcome to A Line of the Stars. It's Dockyards. It's Thursday, and it means that I'm going to build something tonight and not sit here and talk the entire time. Well, welcome. Definitely excited for this one after talking about getting the Paragraphix set up, getting ready to go and put into the Falcon. I am super excited about getting that done tonight. So we'll kind of wait a little bit for a couple people to trickle in. Yeah, otherwise, it's been a day. I got home from work maybe 40 minutes ago and then needed to set up a Wi-Fi extender because for whatever reason, despite the great internet that I have, it doesn't make its way down to this end of the apartment so well. So I had to hook that up and then quickly cram a hot dog in my face. And it wasn't from Circle K, so we should be good. And but yeah, no, it's been a bit of a day. So let's see here. Well, Todd is hanging out. Todd, hello. And thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. Yeah, my sub count has been growing quite a bit lately. Actually, I think as of right now at 340 subscribers, which is pretty awesome. And he says hello. That's very awesome. Don is here. Says evening, guys. Don, how are you? Welcome. And we have Ken. Hey, Ken. I think Ken and I are going to be getting together and doing another little recording session this weekend, which is going to be pretty cool. I'm excited for that. Should definitely coordinate over the next day or so. Figure out when we're going to do that. Todd says, bah humbug, build and talk, man. And then everyone's saying hi to each other. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, we'll wait for a couple more people to show up. I got a couple things to show off today. What I have done, I'll kind of review what we took care of last week. Let's go ahead and switch over. Well, I guess first up, I'm going to leave this sitting here. I've had to kind of figure out some technology related issues, and I found out after hooking up another camera. So I hooked up the forward facing camera, so that'll be this camera. I hooked that up, and that one actually, it seems like I'm still having some issues here. A little bit of I'm going to need to sort that out. I'm not going to go to this camera too often, and I may switch them up. But I went ahead and moved that camera from over here and added another one. And I found out that USB hubs can only handle so much data rolling through there. So for the last couple of weeks, I haven't been able to do a whole lot of camera switching. The reason I've been having some issues with my controller and not getting him to be able to switch between all my cameras is because my USB hub was just overburdened with all of the things. And so definitely have some more cameras. I have my CX405 over here I have the ability to zoom in and focus in at the stupidest level, which is pretty cool. Although uh, I may be finding some limits to my computer here now as I'm starting to run a lot of data feeds. Oh boy, I'm just going to switch that one off and we're going to go over here. I have some more cameras, but I think I may be reaching the capabilities of my video card or something. So I thought I'd sorted that out, and definitely the USB hub not being quite like I moved some things around. So I had to do a bunch of that today, right before we hopped on stream. So yeah, but what I did last week was work on getting the hole sealed up, and for the most part, I was able to get that done on stream. But then what I did is let's try to get over to this camera for just a moment here. Corporate accounts, Nina speaking, just a moment. Um, I was able to go through and very carefully, like while watching some TV and some other things, I was able to get everything all sealed up and ready to go. Let's go ahead and grab a power source real fast. Get it powered up so we can see what's going on here. And just turn that on. Power up the engines. There's not going to be a flicker here, and I'm totally fine with that. Once again, this model is a paint mule, but there's the engines. But I was able to go through and get everything all cinched up along the outside, with the only part needing to be done. Oops, lower that down a little bit here. Maybe zoom in a little bit here. The only parts that really need to be sealed up are going to be just right along here. As I wanted to leave some room in this hole so that I can kind of fit everything in, because this isn't like the perfect grade where this assembly is actually where you attach everything to. Um, I just saw that comment. Can't hold on one sec. I love it. But on the perfect grade, like this is one assembly that you put down and then you actually build the cockpit and the lower tub. I'm going to take a look to see what the Paragraphix set, which is what we got right here. So let's go and switch back over the top. But I was able to kind of work through on getting all those pieces glued in. And then I got our, oh God, I'm going to be taking that off for the sake of painting at various points. But I was able to get our docking ports both hooked up as well. And then, of course, we got our LED that's kind of hanging out for the cockpit down there. So basically, I got everything cinched up with the exception of right around the mandibles and around a couple of other targeted areas. But it kind of took me all week. This model requires a lot of patience. The glues just this model requires a lot of damn patience. That's all I got to say about that. And I see this, pardon me, but I believe you have my stapler. I'll burn this place to the ground. I love it. Hey, Don, or I've already said hi, Don. Hey, Paul, welcome. He's saying evening, Todd, Don, and Ken. Welcome, welcome. All right. Make sure I get a little star on that one there. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of the name of the game today is really to kind of pull this away, get this out of frame, and then we're going to work on as much of the Paragraphix cockpit as possible. I'm not going to be using all the photo etch as I've already done some of the assembly. I realized I probably could have incorporated some parts from the perfect grade along in there as well. So I don't know. I'm trying to like limit the amount of time and work that I'm putting into this. There is a bunch of photo etch in here, and so regerts may have been had. Some of the landing gear may need to be reworked, and so I don't know. We'll see what we can do. But the idea today is really to work on the cockpit, get it installed and ready to go. And then from there, if we have time, I don't know, but if we have time, I want to go ahead and try to at least get our primer coat over the top of this and wipe out Todd's wonderful paint job. So I would continue on because I remember the ratios. And sorry, my compressor is going to be going along in the background. I do remember the ratios for the most part that the guy at Wonderfest was teaching us with, but I had to make a couple of sacrifices when I was bringing everything back from Wonderfest, and I saw that, Paul. Hold on one sec. Um, so I had to sacrifice the paints, and as it was, I was just like, ugh, I didn't really like the paints to begin with. It kept drying out the tips on the airbrush. It was just kind of trash, if I'm being real. And so, as much as I'd love to continue on with this paint job, because I kind of know what was done here, I do want to treat this as a paint mule. And so, for our first coats around it, I want to go ahead and get our base coat put back down over the top. And so, that's what I'm going to try to shoot for today. But I'll be streaming till about 7, and I do a lot of talking and moving my mouth and less of my hands, and just kind of move my hands across the screen like this. So we'll see how far we get, but that's going to be kind of the long game for this build. And then the cool thing with this model, and I'll go ahead and grab it real quick. It's across the room, so I'm going to step away from the bench for a quick second. But the cool thing with this model is it not only has like a fairly comprehensive decal kit, but it's going to be maybe helpful for me when painting the perfect grade. But at the very bottom of the model kit, there is a diagram for how everything is painted. Obviously, we're going to kind of take a different approach, but I've taken a look and cross-referenced it, and it looks pretty good. So I don't know how much I'll use this going forward, but this is going to be kind of a cool thing. And if I want to practice and kind of do things, I may use this as my reference point. So, oh my God, chat is just doing its thing. Regert, yeah. So regerts, no regerts. Paul says not using all the PE. Boo, hiss, where's your sense of torment? Have you seen these Lincoln log fingers? I am going to use some photo etch today. And definitely, so I guess we'll get to mail call here in a second. But I get to use a piece of equipment that Todd so kindly purchased for me. And he does have okay, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. But we are going to be doing some photo etch, and I'm going to be using one of the tools that Todd so kindly purchased for me. So Ken says you made sacrifices. I hope they weren't human sacrifices. No comment. Plead the fifth sort of thing. If it was just my sadness. Anyway, hi Chase, how you doing? Todd says, I have the Falcon set it to me of paints if you want them. I will probably use my other paints. I appreciate that. I remember, that was the Starship set, right? Okay, hold on. It's basically, so there's the link. It's going to be in the chat. Let me go ahead and pop over here, open this in a new tab so I can take a look. XF64, 53, 18, 3, 7, and 1. I actually have all of those paints. So I'm good. Thank you, though. I appreciate that. Love it. But those are the paint sets that you're going to need for that. And that's actually... So I'm going to go ahead and open that and then leave that open so I can write those down as the official colors. Todd's amazing. He has great resources, guys. And then, of course, everyone else is saying hi. So, yeah, the idea is I want to be able to basically base coat this bad boy and start over and try some of the techniques. I have the same airbrush that we were using in the class. Once again, thanks to Todd. I'm constantly humbled by the generosity of this group. But this airbrush is like the game changer for me, and being able to practice with this brush, not this particular brush, but this style of brush at Wonderfest and during the class. I can't wait to see what I'm going to be able to do after a little over 2 months now almost 2 months now of using this brush. So I've almost stopped using all of the other brushes that I have. I have a MadWorks 0.5, but that one will get a bit even bigger swath of paint, which is pretty amazing. So yeah. And let's see. Yeah, everyone's just saying hi. So I guess before we get started, oh, so sorry, Don. I think I appreciate that. So he doesn't remember what the brush was. So it's an Iwata Eclipse, the Iwata or Iwata, whatever you want to call it. It's the HPCS. So I got to do the class because Steve, rest in peace, my friend, he got sick and during the class, and so I was able to step in and do the class and practice with the Iwata. And I believe the class was put together by Tag Team Hobbies, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, Todd. Um, but you know, the class itself was using just their demo airbrushes, and it gave me a better result than anything that I had received from my basic. So I started out with this airbrush, and this is a Harbor Freight special, and I treat this thing like crap now. This is what I use for clears and all that, and I'm realizing that I did some clear work and I didn't clean this, and so that regrets word that I said, regrets are definitely had. Um, and then here is the MadWorks zero point 0.5 that I have as well. Ian was very kind to send this one to me. This one's great. It's a 0.5, so it really lays down the paint. But this thing at full blast still lays way more down. So all their airbrushes have different, I think, places. But I like to keep this one for sure, like nice and clean, and I definitely make sure it's maintained much better. So but yeah, it was I think it was Tag Team Hobbies that was putting on the class, and so they were also the ones doing the class. Was on Thursday, or was it on Friday before? Yeah, it was on Friday morning before Wonderfest starts, because Wonderfest didn't start until Saturday, and so the class, like the festivities, kind of get rolling on Friday morning, and so the class was like all day until like 4 o'clock on Friday, and then over the weekend, that room where we did the class, they were using the Iwatas as demo pieces for their to sell them. And Todd was part of the one of the perks of going to that class is you could purchase the Iwata, and once again, incredibly generous, and handed that off to me. So yeah, incredibly grateful for that, and it's changed everything when it comes to airbrushing for me. So yeah, and I think before it was tag. All right, perfect. Yeah, that's great. Um, it was the dude who taught the class. Like the models that he built are amazing, but I can tell you right now, like as somebody who trains people and tells people how to do things, his skills are not in teaching. His skills were in color theory and kind of mixing up palettes of colors. I was hoping to learn more about the actual technique of airbrushing. I learned much more from Todd, who was sitting right next to me, than I did from anything with him. Not to say anything bad about him, but definitely the class was a little weird. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and move this out of the way. I'm gonna go have a little bit of a mail call real fast. So a couple things for others. Well, I guess just one for other series. Well, a couple things actually. So we'll open this last and we'll take a look to see what the Paragraphix for the MPC looks like. But first things first, let's go ahead and pull off the, where is my, there you are. So don't hit that button. All right. So finally, there's been a lot of like mix-ups and what have you between Green Strawberry, HDA, me. I am thankful I was able to start elsewhere on the model, but here is our Green Strawberry set for the runabout. And so I wanted to go ahead and open that real quick and go ahead and take a look. And I will screen share as well. I need to go ahead and open this up on another window over here. Don't need to worry about. I always like, oh God, I got to keep talking the whole time. So what I do is open this, and all right, I will screen share that here in just a moment. But basically, it's just the instructions for the green strawberry set. Yeah, don't push the red one. I've got two monitors. Thankfully, I've got one over here, so I'm pointing that way. It's over that way, and then I have one right here. The one right here is the one that I use to monitor OBS and Audacity, which is what you record audio with. And I kind of do monitoring over there. And then over on this screen is where I have StreamYards open up so I can actually watch chat and all of those things. So, yeah, thankfully, I'm not even going to say the words, focus. I'm not going to say the words because I'm like, no, 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 I'm just not going to say it. I can end the stream at any time, couldn't I? That's all I'll say about that. But let's go ahead and open this up real quick. Oh God, disgusting! I had to cram disgusting food in me real fast. Wanted to go ahead and open this up and take a look at the parts. This is going to be a very interesting build and one that I'm super excited for. It's not going to be like the level of detail that you get out of the Razor Crest, for instance, but what you get is just super realistic detail to Star Trek, and I am just kind of blown away. Like Green Strawberry, like they've sponsored me for, I've been fortunate enough to be able to be sponsored for a couple of things now, and like nothing serious, but um with Green Strawberry, I asked them, I'm like, hey, could you hook me up with that? And they're like, hey, we'd kind of like to see you finish the first one before you give it another one. And I'm like, that's fair. So I did buy this. But the work that the two of them do, Green Strawberry is just two people over in the Czech Republic. And what they do is just out of control. It is super realistic. I know their photo etch is not the most to be desired, but on this set, and we'll go ahead and open this up real quick. On this set, I have been told, now I have not actually opened any of this yet as well, but on this set, I've been told that it actually has the proper, like the thicker photo etch like you would see with Paragraphix. So let's go ahead and start with that in the instructions. And after we do the instructions, I'll go ahead and screen share what the I'll show all of the little bits and pieces, and then I'll screen share the actual instructions for this because I'm going to have a couple questions for the room because it can be a little hard to decipher sometimes. So I'm not going to worry about showing you guys these instructions. I will show you as we go along, but I did want to take a look and see what we have inside. So I think I feel the photo etch in here. Yep, and it is the nicer photo etch. So here is our photo etch for the runabout. And as you can see, we have the recognizable doors if you're familiar with Star Trek Deep Space Nine at all. This is the lower part of the transporter pad. And then this is the ceiling or the roof of the runabout with the top portion of the transporter pad as well. And we'll talk about that here as I go into the instructions here in a little bit. But this is a nice photo etch. This is not the super paper thin stuff, which is really nice. I'm excited about that. Let's take a look here. So the cool thing is they don't assume that you're a super amazing modeler. And so they give you some kind of different options. Like if you don't want to light this model, they give you options so that you don't have to light this model. And the decals that they give you that are super clear, well, you don't have to use them. So let's take a look first. And first, these are the actual decals. And so I'll go ahead and hold that up to the camera. And these are all of the consoles, part of the transporters, different wall displays, different little things that are going to be lit up. And these are completely transparent. And we can use these, or There it is. Very cool. Well, there's a transfer. There's a film. There's a film in here. Very cool. Or you can use these, which are stickers. Go ahead and focus up a little bit there. And there we are. And so you have to use some decals for certain things, but if you just want to not light the model and want to use stickers, you can do that as well. I obviously picked up the next generation version of the Danube class. The only difference between this and the DS9 version was the price. I really couldn't decipher the difference between the two. I looked at all the different parts, and the diagram, and the schematics. Um, one was like $100, and then this one was like 90. So I bought this one. There's literally no difference. So here are the stickers. We have a film transfer, and this is for when you go to light the model, and this sits in between areas where it's not like clear resin here. It'll sit in like areas here. So for like the transporter pad and some consoles, we basically lay the decals across the top of this right here, and then you clear them. So at least that's what I understand. So we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, that's a clear transfer film. We do have, if you're going to be using stickers instead of the clear transfer films or the decals, this is what you're going to use in lieu of these pieces right here. So you got that. And then, very cool. It comes with the strangely colored green strawberry masks, and I've heard that these are very nice, along the lines of almost as nice as like the Mask Designs one, which we're going to be using for the Perfect Grade Falcon. So, but yeah, so we're going to basically build that and then mask off, and so I'm going to get these put back into the instructions. I don't want to get them all messed up. I'm actually going to probably start working on them this weekend. Now that it's finally here, I kind of can't wait. And here at this end of this little segment here, we'll talk about what I did wrong on the runabout. Man, I'm not going to accept it. I thought I was going to, but I'm not going to accept it. Anyway, moving on. Here is our console, and these are our clear resin pieces. Let's go ahead and take this out. The two that are obviously not the console. So these two pieces right here go behind some of our resin pieces, and then you light these up, and then it transfers the light through the resin into the where you have the decals, and it gives you the effect of lit up consoles, which is pretty cool. And then here is our console that we're going to be putting the decals on, and then you clear them, and then you put the what is it, the vinyl masks over them, and then you paint them in the base color. I was taking a look at the design for it, and it looks pretty cool. And as you can see, they brushed the outside, but it is perfectly clear. And we're going to light this up with, I think I'm going to use some addressable cob LEDs. So yeah, those are the clear pieces, which is pretty cool. And then let's just take a quick look at some of our resin pieces. I don't want to, well, it doesn't really matter. These ones feel fairly solid. Some of the ones on the Razor Crest kind of felt a little flimsy. So I think these ones are fine. So yeah, we're good. So here are the chairs. And just a reminder, the Rio Grande or the Runabout is in 70-second scale. And so here are our 70-second scale chairs. I do have some 70-second scale figures on the way as well, but they were ordered and they cast them to order. So I'm going to be waiting for them to show up after a little while. So there are the chairs. And then once we punch this metal part out and what have you, this is the transporter pad, or the transporter room thing, which it's going to have two small little transporter pads down there at the bottom. And one of the figures that I have ordered is a guy that is cast in blue, transparent blue, and it gives the effect of him transporting out, which is going to be pretty cool. And I think we're going to use some addressable LEDs underneath where we have, and I'll show you here. So here's the floor for for the runabout. This piece fits right here. This is where the transporter sits. This part right here, you punch out and you can light it from underneath. And so the idea is I would have the clear film underneath, and we can choose to which transporter pad to light up. And that's going to be pretty cool. So I'm going to need a lot of help with programming later on. But this is such a cool set. They also built it with wire channels in here. It is designed for lighting, and it is super fascinating. Like, they just so thoughtful, and the design is so good. I'm just holding onto these chairs like they're lost children, so I'm going to put those back in there. Here are something. I don't know what just yet, but that's something. And then we have the rear wall. There are these shorter clear resin pieces fit in through the back right here, and then this is where you light that up, and then it puts light through there, which then we put over the parts where there's going to be a clear film sitting over the top. So it's going to be a super cool effect. And then we have our side where the window ports are, and the console will be kind of butting up into it. So I don't imagine that this is going to be too many episodes. I might just dedicate probably 2 episodes of assembling this. And I have given some thought to what we're going to be doing for the rear cargo bay mod, and we will talk more about that in the episode this week. But just kind of wanted to show that off, and I'm super excited. So let's go ahead. I'm going to figure out real quick how to present, and I'm going to share screen. There it is. I'm going to share that one. Okay. Let me know if this works. Okay, there it is. Sweet. Okay, can you guys see my mouse? I don't know. Well, if you guys can, it's totally fine. So here are the instructions, and if you guys have not ever built a green strawberry set of instructions, and I won't be able to see chat for a second, so I do apologize if you guys say anything. I'll try to roll through this kind of quick. I'll pop over to chat when I do have questions about something. But they're fairly descriptive in how they do their instructions. They tell you exactly what the parts are, exactly what you're going to be using. It gives you what it looks like when it's completely assembled. And then, as you can see here in this next section, you can see where the gray is those are the parts that are going to stay, and then you're going to remove any of the parts in red. Pretty straightforward. I'm going to be doing my prep and all of that. We'll be talking. I'm not really going to be doing any assembly for this in the next episode, but I'm going to be showing this off and then talking about the mistake that I made. But we're going to be doing our parts cleanup, and so it may be that next week on this stream we do some work on these panels. But as you can see here in the instructions, when you got this question mark, let's hop over to chat. Okay, just want to make sure that everything's all good over there. So as you can see here, it gives you this question mark, and it says decals or stickers. And that's basically what that means. The question mark is you can choose to do either or. Now, the way that they've done their decals is basically you cut around some lines. We'll cover that in the episode when we get there. But the masks are meant to go over the top where they actually want the console to be, but then there are certain parts where it's hard to explain, but basically what I'm understanding from the instructions here is that you put the decals on first, and then you're going to put the masks on, and then you paint, and then you go ahead and put the remaining decals or stickers on, depending on how you want to do it, after that part, because those are more surface details, not meant to be lit up. And so it says down here, obviously it's in check, but then right below it, it says varnish the decals before applying masks. And so the question I have for you guys is, does that actually mean put clear over the top? Because I'm assuming that that's going to be what you want to do. get a nice clear over the top. Um, the decals before we put the base coat on, because you don't want to take the masks and rip them off. And so that's the question I have for you guys. Does the varnish the decals before applying masks mean that I need to put the decals on first and then put the masks over the top? And if so, what sort of clear coat should I use? I'm not really pleased with any of the clear coats that I have. I have the Mission Models clear, I have the flat clear, and then I have the what is it? The Tamiya, or I got the Mission Models flat clear, and then the semi-gloss, and then I also have the same thing, the flat clear and semi-gloss clear from Tamiya. I don't have the greatest clears, and so what would be a good clear coat to use going forward? Like, is there a certain brand? I know that Mr. Hobby makes really nice clear coats, and I've been kind of leaning more towards some of their chemicals as well. I've been currently experimenting with the leveling thinner. So let me know, what would be a good type of clear coat or varnish should I use? Specifically like a brand or what have you, let me know. Then you start to, in the next part, we start to assemble the transporters. And then once again, as you can see here, it's either going to be decals or stickers. And the assembly process is you're going to take the paper piece and then the film and then the decal or something like that. I think, or no, it's the film, decal, and then mask. And you're going to do that for both those pieces and then paint it. With obviously K being a diffusion piece that sits, with 19 part 4. It basically, we're going to put an addressable LED under each one of those pads so we can choose, which transporter pad to light up and which not. But it's basically, it shows you how to build it, and you're going to do it in sub assemblies. Fairly straightforward. And then you start installing stickers or decals. You can choose whether or not it's going to be stickers or decals. I think for these parts where there's not actually going to be any lights, I will choose the stickers because they have a little bit higher of a detail. And then you're just going through and doing painting, assembling consoles. So this is where you take that clear resin part, and it doesn't show you anywhere on the instructions, by the way. Actually, no, it does. So the clear resin part comes through here, part number 14, plugs into the back, and then that's what lights up these individual consoles right here, which is pretty cool. And then I think it's the same for, how do they do that? There's another set of that somewhere as well. Oh, it's going to be for the transporter pad as well. So yeah, part number 10 up here, you slide them down in between where the transporter is, and it will light up either side of the grills for that too. So we're gonna have to figure out a bunch of lighting and all of that jazz. But yeah, this is kind of how they do their instructions. It is a fairly straightforward and easy build. Nothing too crazy, but it's going to take a lot of work, just like the Razor Crest, just like all of my models these days. So yeah, just kind of wanted to share a little bit of the instructions for that. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the screen there, come back. So perfect. Let's come back to some comments here. Ah, nice. Welcome. Nice. Model making and mindfulness. You're one of my original subscribers from back in the day. I really appreciate you stopping by. Thank you. So model making and mindfulness is saying I'd recommend Mr. Hobby gloss top coat. Fantastic. Chase is also saying I've heard good things about Mr. Hobby. So gloss, then decal, then final finish. I see. The gloss is to provide a smooth surface to keep air from getting under the tiny decals and silvering them. Oh, so even over the top, like, so just to clarify then, once I get this part cleaned off and like all of it separated and sanded, I'm going to want to put a gloss over the top of this, then put the decals down, then the gloss, the finishing gloss, and then the masks, and then paint. Let me know. Todd says the gloss is to provide a smooth surface and prevent silvering, which is pretty cool. And he's saying the final finish can be matte, satin, gloss, or whatever I desire. Now he's asking Tony, hi Tony, how you doing? What about the compressor bypass? I'm not quite sure what you're referencing. Let me know. Todd is saying all clad aqua gloss is a great utility gloss coat for things like decal prep and shoot it straight from the bottle. All right, so let me. I made sure I had a piece of paper ready to go for this one. So, all right, all clad aqua gloss. Nice. Okay. Yeah, and my model making and mindfulness is saying yes, do a gloss coat first, and after the doing the decals, follow up with another coat of gloss, then mask and paint. Okay. The consoles are gloss in the show. All right. Very nice. I like it. And Tony, once again, if you let me know what you're meaning about the compressor bypass, Ray did it in the movie The Force Awakens. Nice. Uh, oh, a line in the stars already triggers some people like, oh God, this guy likes Star Wars and Star Trek. Oh God. Oh, perfect. And Todd was kind enough to go ahead and put that into the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and open that one as well. And I'm going to see if I can melt my computer by having many, 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 many tabs open at the same time. And can get it at many hobby shops too. All right, perfect. So sweet. Well, that's good to know. Those are all great tips. I would have gone in and put the decals directly over the top of this. And so that is such a great tip. I really appreciate that. I really do want this to turn out good. And once again, with the all clad, Todd is saying just a general purpose clear that is good and easy to use, but it is lacquer. So keep that in mind. Okay. So in that case, can I put a lacquer clear over the top of acrylics? Is that something I can do? Because I know you're not really supposed to mix the two. Acrylic lacquer like Tamiya. Okay, perfect. All right. So thank you, Todd. I appreciate the clarification there. Acrylic lacquer, just like Tamiya. Beautiful. All right, sweet. Also, as well, at the top of the instructions, and I'll go ahead and show it here. Just I closed the screen, or did I? I can go ahead and show. I'll go ahead and present one more time and share the screen. And where are we? And I'll go ahead and show real quick. This is what Todd is talking about. The aqua clear gloss. It is currently right now to Jordan and Bellevue. It is, going to go ahead and add that to the cart. And we will work about that later, but that is good. So I can actually close that screen there. So I'm going to stop presenting that one. Oh, where was I going? Well, I forgot what I was saying. And then, he's saying for the resin, you may even be able to super sand it to a polished surface and not use a base gloss. Yeah. I remember what I was going to do. I don't know. The under decal gloss is just to create a super smooth surface on plastics. No, I really like that. And I probably will go with that route. Just because, once again, like I'm going to make an excuse. These big, stupid Lincoln log figures. All right. I'm going to go ahead and present on one more time here. And the cool thing with this is on the instructions. Now, I almost purchased all of it, but I found out that I have most of the paints. But as you can see here, you have on this line right above the remove from the resin parts, you actually have the colors that they used. They tried to color match as much as they could, and they went ahead and chose the Ammo by May Jimenez, which is a fantastic paint. I really do enjoy it. I've contemplated, I have all of them in my cart. I've contemplated purchasing them, but it's a little bit of a pricey expenditure when I actually have all of these colors already. But they do provide you with colors that you could be using, actually, that you should be using and that are pretty screen accurate. So, once again, hands off to Green Strawberry. They do an amazing job of basically like making it as realistic as possible. Now, you definitely pay for that, though. I'll tell you that. you know, Todd is saying you've got those glass files. I do. Well, okay. I've only got the full size racer. I don't have any of the smaller ones, and that might not be too bad of a thing to get. And I know there's a sale, I think, going on this week with, oh goodness, what's the site that sells those specifically? New Type. Let's take a look. I'm going to go ahead and top over to New Type and see what they've got for tools. Feeling like Ian right now. I'm just going to spend all my money on stream. So they do have the Racer Origin, and it is only $25. Do they have the multi-kit, though? The one that Todd got? I'm going to have to take a look. I'll have to take a look. And Todd says, go back and click that save button, man. Save $3. I did. It is in there. And then Model Making and Mindfulness is saying, give the glass coats plenty of time to dry, at least 24 hours to be safe. So definitely will do that for sure. So it's all right. Let's go ahead and move on to a little bit of other. I mean, like I said, I'm trying to get to other things. So let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the mail call. Don't have too much to do. First things first, the Todd father, Todd, was very kind enough to send this for me. And this is a very, very cool. So let's go ahead and switch over to, let's go over to the side camera over here. So this is a vise, and it moves back and forth very nicely. It's got movable pins on the top where you don't have to like do, too much to move them around. You don't have to unscrew anything. Lots of different little configurations. The movement on it is really nice and smooth. It's not it's not jarring. Anything like that. But then the cool thing is the head itself is on a gimbal. So nice, smooth, easy movements. I was kind of doing a little janky there. But if you want to like position something just like that, tighten it, and then move your clamp, you can. It's fantastic. Here's what that looks like. And then, as you can see here, it has a photo etch bending tool, which is something that these Lincoln log fingers definitely need, and we will be using it today with the photo etch set. So, yeah, this was a very kind gift from Todd. Todd found this on what is it? What's the name of the website? Is it Hobbyist or something like that? Hobbyist Haven or something? Yeah, it good price for the quality. I can tell you this thing is super solid and works really, really well. And then Don says the part of Ian will be played tonight by Jordan. Unless it's like last week when Ian hopped in and then just started being Ian, which actually I thought was pretty hilarious. All right, and then the last little bit of mail call that I got going on before we get to moving into the building. I actually haven't even opened this yet, so Amazon arrived today while I was at work. So first things first, I have some 6mm outer diameter brass tubing that is hollow, and I need this. I think I picked up with 200mm, so basically 2/3 of a. I'm not even going to try to math that. That's okay. It's that long, and I needed to have something that I can run the wiring through for the Enterprise C, as I've chosen to obviously light that model, and I needed to get a base started to get put together. So I went ahead and picked up some of these 6mm outer diameter, and let's see if we can grab the Enterprise. As you can see, we're all cinched up. After the episode was released, I went ahead and separated the saucer and the little on point. But I went ahead and separated the pieces. If you guys watched the episode, I was having some issues where I couldn't figure out where the power was going, or where the lighting was going. And it turned out when I was using the CA glue, it caused the fiber optics to melt and break. And created quite the damn mess. And so in between, I just took everything apart and got this assembled. But the Enterprise is now complete, basically. And what I did was picked up, I'm hoping I can actually use this here right now. So I picked up this tube, and if it fits properly, God, I hope it does. Try to get our wires down through here. We're about to find out live right now. There we are. Did I measure correctly? Bam, baby. Nice. The Enterprise. Let's see if I can bust out. Which camera should I use? Let's bust out the one that's likely flickering right now. And let's zoom out. Oh, well, no, it's too tall. Let's go over here. No, it's too tall too. But she's on her stand. I might need to actually cut this down. It's likely that that's what I'm going to do. But I got our stand for the Enterprise C, and I need to figure out the base situation. But I think that this is close enough to the stock base that I'll be able to. I wonder if this camera might work. Well, there it is. Shows a little bit better. Yeah, it's nice having multiple cameras. There we go. So yeah, there's the base. See here. Well, model making and mindfulness. If you want, I can mail you a detailed 3D replacement canopy for the Falcon that you designed. That would be amazing. Wow, that'd be really amazing. Let's see here. I should actually create a graphic for this. But my email, go ahead and email me at aligningstarsyt@gmail.com. It'll also be in my YouTube description. Go ahead and email me and we'll correspond. I'm super grateful. That's awesome. There's Ian. Shorten your rod, Jordan. You'll take an eye out. And Don says, "Look, you mentioned him and he showed up." And Ken said, I finally caught up with the stream. So does that mean, real quick, and we'll go ahead and power this up because I'm a hedon for a good time. I'm going to try to actually move my CX405 camera a little bit out as well. So bear with me for a second while I switch that out. I will go ahead and move this camera so it kind of shows up a little bit there. Nice. I've kind of done some improvements with some of my technology. I might be reaching the end of my capability with my video card right now. So it might be time for a new computer, even though it was only a new computer, just a couple months ago. Oh, God. I don't know if that's like my video card or I have abused I apologize for the screen doing what it's doing, guys. I have abused the HDMI connector on my CX405, so I apologize. All right. Let's quickly get this lit up so it stops doing that. All right. And the last one hooked up here. There it is. Yeah. So maybe you guys can pick up the nav lights blinking there. Kind of hard to pick up the green. The green's not super bright for whatever reason, but there's the red for the port side. Then we got our planetary sensor down below. And then the rest of our lighting that we might already be familiar with. Somebody has snipped the fiber optics here soon, but yeah, this was a big deal getting the base taken care of. I'm pretty excited about that. I will trim it down a little bit though. So, all right, I'm going to switch off of that camera and we'll go ahead and stop talking about that model. And then let's get that out of the way. Now it's just sitting awkwardly on the shelf. Awesome. And I didn't get that right the first time. That's maybe the third time I've attempted to order those. Well, look at this. Well, we need to talk. All right, very, very interesting. And you know, I have some money to throw towards some upgrades now. So, okay. And also as well, thank you, Ian. I appreciate that. I'm pretty proud of that model, although I'm ready to be done with it. I've been building it since January. I'm not going to be taking a bunch of time to build these models, as I have been. So, and I do need the cosmic scale base for that. I've thought about it a couple of times. I haven't what's funny is that I'm just now getting to thinking about that. So definitely something to think about. So last night on the perfect grade stream, excuse me, apparently I burnt out my addressable LEDs. And so here's a new pack of addressable LEDs. And I've been having some thoughts about that. But I picked up 16.5 feet of addressable LEDs. I've got lots of ideas for these. Let's see here. Yeah, I've got the first idea, number one, besides like all the applications for the models, is like this is what I would consider to use for the what is it, that lighting tree like you would see on the back of the DeLorean. This would be really cool, and I kind of want to build one of those a little bit. So I'm thinking about that. Wow, Ken. Sure, I do. That'd be amazing. So you know what to say. And it comes with actually a couple of connectors, actually, which is really, really nice. Don't know if I'm going to use them or not, but I'm going to be using these quite a bit for various applications. That's why I picked up 16 and a half feet. These were on sale for, I think, like $13 on sale yesterday. And it was overnight shipping available for me. Oh, my God. Ken, you're amazing. Cosmic is Keith. You know, it's so funny is like we spent that entire weekend calling him Keith or calling him Kevin, and I think I was the one who actually started that, and I don't know how the hell that happened. So, all right. Here is the Paragraphix set for the MPC Falcon. And this one is actually kind of cool. Like, I was kind of surprised. Like, the MPC Falcon, like, this is a same tooling from what, the 70s? like 79. I think it's the same tooling, and obviously like Flash. uh, um, sorry, Don. Uh, it's a Flash party, right? Like this model has seen these casts have seen quite a bit of plastic wrapped around them. That's a gross way of saying that. Don't ever let me say that again. But there are quite a few mods out there for this, like the Voodoo FX lighting kit. Obviously, I chose to use that for the Perfect Grade Falcon, but there are quite a few mods available for it. And you can really actually, if you take the time and take the effort, you can really make that model just look really, really good. And it's not going to be a perfect grade by any means. But if you can't afford the perfect grade and you want to take the time, if you get the MPC Falcon for 50 to 70 bucks, depending on where and when you get it, it's definitely worth it. You can probably spend another 100 bucks, 150 bucks to really take the model to the next level. And that's kind of what I'm hoping to get with even just a model that, is just kind of a paint mule. And eventually, like when we do get our paint job on there, I do want to do a nice paint job. So, all right, let's take a look to see what is included. We have some light panel films, and it just says nav computer display, and that's it. So that's interesting. We do have some decals here. We do know that with the Paragraphix decals, you're going to need to get right up next to the edge of the decal itself, as the film itself is built right in. Yes, Ken, it is a 6 millimeter outer diameter pipe, correct? Nice. They're talking. Let's see here. Hey, Steven, welcome. Really appreciate you stopping by. Morning to you. Must be really late. My goodness. Thank you. Wow. Okay. Computer talk. Perfect. Oh yeah, so everyone's just saying hi. All right. So just look at the instructions. It seems fairly straightforward. We'll go ahead and get our parts looked at here in a second. We have our photo etch piece in here. And how interesting. It's very similar to the photo etch for the perfect grade. Very interesting. Do you guys remember what happened to this piece on the perfect grade? I got CA on it and I pulled all the decals off. Oh, that was awful. So, all right, let's go ahead and do a comparison real fast. I am super curious. Let's grab the photo etch set, the Paragraphix for the perfect grade. Now, the sheet is nicer on the perfect grade. The photo etch sheet is a little nicer. This is green strawberry thin right here. And you know what's funny is what's his name? The guy, what's the first name of guy? Is it Paul from Paragraphix? He was kind of trashing on green strawberry a little bit. And because their photo etch is super thin. Uh-huh. Look at this. I know his kids like him floppy. The photo etch for the perfect grade. What movie was that referencing, by the way? Is not floppy. Much nicer, but oh, how interesting. It doesn't have the grills, of course, because the perfect grade comes with them. I'm just kind of lining up. It is the same piece. This is the same piece. This piece right here is the same piece. Fits directly over that. Oh my God, it's a miracle. Look at this. It's pouring in Phoenix. Is it still 100 degrees though? Because I've been in Phoenix in August, and when it's raining, it's still 100 degrees with 200% humidity, if that's even possible. So very interesting. These parts are very, very similar to each other. So I just kind of want to draw a little bit of a comparison there. And if anybody is building the perfect grade Falcon and wants most of a photo etch set, as this was gifted to me once again by Todd, apparently slightly humbling here, you guys, as always. If anybody is building the perfect grade Falcon and they want most of a photo etch set, I even have the photo etch piece for this one right here. I just don't have the decals for it. So, if you guys want it, let me know. Message me. But this is fairly straightforward and looks fairly easy to build as well. So, wondering with the engine grills. Oh boy. Oh, here we go. Oh. All right. I need to take a look, see which is the new style, if we have the new style or the old style. Okay. So we're going to use the bottom of this. Then let's take a look at our pieces before we get going. Talking about the decals. Let's go ahead and open each one of our packages here. Oh no. Does that mean that well, that's probably not the worst thing in the world, but the AC drain pipe just fell off the house. Yikes. It's a good storm, Todd is saying. Well, Phoenix always needs rain, so that's fantastic. Okay. So here are the resin pieces for the cockpit. And we got our 2 chairs and our doorway, which is very cool. We need to wash those before we do anything with them. Here is the tub. And as you can see, they left all the 3D printed stuff on the bottom, which is pretty cool. I'm excited about that. Actually, it's weird. And then here is our cockpit base, which is, or I guess the control base. And underneath, can't see it very well, but underneath there, there's also a slot for a 3mm LED. So this is where we get started today, guys. Let's go ahead and get our parts removed. Stay away from the washes. Yeah, no. So the one time that I was in Phoenix, I've been to Phoenix a couple times, but actually Phoenix proper. So obviously, living in the Seattle area, I'm a huge Seattle Mariners fan. So obviously, I know that's pain and suffering. Um, but by the way, these are the stock seats. Oh yeah. By the way, guys, how could I forget? Hanbaka and Chu Solo still need to be finished up a little bit here. So we'll finish that up at the end of the stream. But here's Hanbaka and Chu Solo. Try to get them up to the camera. Oh my God. I can't believe I did that. This is so great. So we're going to need to do some work on that. Here are the seats that they gave us. Yikes. We're going to take those and put those off to the side. I went ahead and just was trying to figure out what I need to use from the remaining stock parts. And this is the tub. Here's a console piece that we're not going to use. So that's trash. Here, is the back console. Like that's the back wall. They literally, it's a clear part, and they kind of gave you a little bit of stuff to use here. So we'll see what else that we're not going to use. And then the flash. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Yeah. Look at that. Just, oh yeah. Just oh yeah. Just oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. All right. Let's start. I am going to need, let's see here. I was most of the way prepared for this. I have a wash tub here and a compressor that decided to turn on. And my water squirt bottle here. And I am going to quickly, where are you? There you are. I'm going to go through and quickly wash up the pieces. If you guys aren't aware, on resin pieces, there is a, oh my God. I just started squirting. Yeah, the squirt bottle. You're an incredibly kind human being. Thank you, sir. I am just going to use, if you guys aren't aware, I am just flabbergasted with the generosity of this community. You guys are amazing. There is a separating agent that they use on resin pieces, and if you don't wash them off, actually, I should probably separate my pieces before washing, which I'll do actually. But there's a agent on there on the resin that if you don't wash it off, can actually cause your paint or glue to not adhere properly. And I've actually personally seen that as I made that mistake on the Perfect Grade Falcon, or not the Perfect Grade Falcon, but the Razor Crest. So, uh, Ian says, "Wow." Ken says, "Now imagine what I would do if I liked you." You are an incredibly kind human being. And Ian goes, "Hey, Ken, that 2024 Lexus LC500 is really nice. It really is, you know." I saw an F-Type rolling around here just recently, or not an F-Type, but one of the, I forget, what's that, the supercar Lexus that's out? Is it the LC500? Maybe. I can't remember, but I saw one recently, and it was just like, oh my God. Cat has a Lexus, and it's a fantastic car. So, yeah, I'm just blown away by you guys. Thank you. The LFA, yes, there it is. Yeah, the LFA. Oh man, such a good looking car too. Totally not practical, but great car. All right, I'm just going through right now and separating my part from the 3D print, which is pretty cool. You sat in one. Ian says he sat in one and started it. Oh, dude. That'd be so cool. I am probably being a little more ginger than I need to be. Let's go and do this quickly. Oh, my eye. I got it in my eye. Oh, God. I'm blind. Huh. Oh, to not be monetized. There we are. uh, all right. So these actually are fairly easy to remove. Is really nice. Yeah, so I heard that we were going across the Deception Pass Bridge, and I heard that, and I was just blown away by how awesome that sounded. Lexus makes great cars; they really do. Okay, so there's our lower piece taken off. Uh, Todd says, my old dealership boss, I'll go ahead and put this up on the screen, would let me borrow his fancy demos all the time, but I did not get to drive the LFA or the F360. Oh, man. They, those cars are just nuts. They really are. I've had the opportunity, I've only driven one supercar in my life. Last time I went to Vegas, I rented a Ferrari, a LaFerrari, and drove it to the Grand Canyon and back, which was pretty freaking amazing. Would do again, but it cost like $400 last time, and I can only imagine how much it costs now. And then last time I did that was like in 2010. So was the LaFerrari? I can't remember now at this point. It was one of the newer cars. Wow, that's crazy. Oh my god. I will just put that up on the screen. Literally. Literally. Oh, he said I did get to borrow. Todd says I did get to borrow his 997 GT2 and GT3. The Ariel Atom. Oh, the R35. Oh man, that'd be super cool. All right. I don't know what I was expecting, but these are remarkably. Oh my god, remarkably like easy to remove. I thought it was going to be a lot more difficult to remove these little nubs that you mount with. Very interesting. It's very cool. Uh, so it was on a Groupon is what it was. So Ian says, season as it cost me 300 to rent a Shelby DTH for a day, 20 plus years ago to drive to the Hoover Dam. You did not rent a LaFerrari. Yeah, I can't remember what it was. It was one of the newer cars. It was on a Groupon, so I got half off. So it was supposed to be like $800 or something like that. Now that I remember it, um, still one of the coolest experiences. I never opened it up though. I was too afraid. Too afraid. Ah, Todd said he would drive him to meet down to meet his parents for fun. The BMW. Oh, drive down to BMW meets for fun. Ah, yeah. The Atom is bonkers quick. I was actually playing Forza Horizon 5 the other day, and that's on that game. I know it's just a video game, but my god, that was insane. All right, almost done separating out all of our pieces here. Probably take some liberties with that. I know I should probably be wearing a face mask, but I'm not. I am breathing deep, you guys, just so you know. Just so you know. It's okay. It's okay. I'm good. All right. Let's go ahead and get our parts moved off to the side, our little bits. Todd says the Atom was the fastest thing he's ever driven. Yeah, that'd be God. I like to drive fast, but I think I prefer to be quick than drive fast. That's why I've always driven smaller cars for whatever reason. All right, let's go ahead and get this cleaned up real quick. Oh, God. Todd says brakes didn't work unless hot. Asked the lady walking into Lowe's that night as I was giving people a ride in the parking lot. Also sucked because it was winter and the cold air on the freeway was blowing up my jeans. And let the rest of that trail off into the obscure. That's amazing. That's a great story. It's always good time with story time with Todd for sure. All right. And I'm just quickly sanding up my pieces here. I'm not too worried about the little nubs, but this is going to be going into the tub here. And so I do want to make sure that it's going to fit properly. There it is. Just like so. Yep. But once again, just being thorough, taking down the nubs that were left from the cast. And Ian says, Todd giving people rides in the parking lot. More story time with Todd from Wonderfest. So true. Honestly, that was one of the best parts of Wonderfest was story time with Todd. Like, as a quick aside from Wonderfest, that was like by far, like the event itself is really cool. Seeing all the models and all the things and getting exposure to all the personalities that might show up and stuff was super cool. But it's just being able to see the guys from Hobby Time Modelers and get to meet Wayne and Keith from Cosmic Scale Models and Paul from Paragraphix and Andrew, getting to meet him, Canadian Starships. Like just getting to really network within our field was very, very cool, and something that like the first time is always the best, but next time I can't wait because I'm a little bit more prepared for what to do and what not to do. Oh, Todd says I should say the Atom was quick, accelerating, but the fastest I've driven was renting an Audi RS6 Avant. Oh, and driving from Munich to Stuttgart on the Autobahn. Pucker factor for sure. I put a 360 camera on the dash for the drive. Should find the footage. Oh, you should 100% do that and put it up on Discord. People would love that. Dom would love that. I've always wanted to drive the Autobahn. That is definitely on the list of things to do. And then Ken says, Todd, I sent you a message. Likely that's going to be in Discord. And Ken and I, a couple weekends ago, we did some recording on some tutorials. And we're talking about doing some more, which is pretty cool. And by recording of tutorials, it's me learning how to do something, and we're recording something, creating content, and I'm getting free lessons, you guys. It's pretty awesome. Ken is an amazing teacher. And if you guys haven't figured it out already, an incredibly giving human being, both with time, energy, and resources. So very appreciative. Todd says when you're doing 120 and getting passed by transit vans, it's special. I bet. Says I think we topped out at 180-ish. Oh my god. Yeah, Ian agreed. LOL. Wow. That's amazing. Fastest I've ever personally driven. Oh god, probably it was 110. I had a BMW E36 M3. It was set up more for drifting, which is what I got myself infamously in trouble doing. I received an inheritance and decided to take a offensive and defensive driving class and a drifting class and Tom Petty experience when I was down in Vegas. And so driving is like one of my favorite things to do. And I got myself into trouble with it. But that car was set up more for drifting and not speed. So I also have a healthy respect for life. So I decided not to push that one too far. Yeah, I've heard that. I experienced Europe once when I was very young, but definitely didn't drive. So Todd says people over there know how to drive right. It's glorious. The U.S. is the worst, especially up here. The drivers up here are the absolute worst. Or I think I'm the absolute best, which means that I'm the absolute worst. So we'll see. uh, nice. Okay. uh, Love it. Todd says, we did learn that people don't flip you off when you change lanes in front of them. They just get in front of you, slow down, and jam their windshield wipers full open. Oh, I love my Jeep for that. So I have a Jeep Renegade and a little 4x4 Sport. And yeah, it's just a good little commuter Jeep. And, it's fun. It's got a 1.4-liter turbo and yeah, nice, fun little car. And but it's got the window washer jets that shoot out over the top of the car, and so that's what you do. That's what you do, and be like, "What? I'm just washing my windows on you." All right, let's quickly grab the racer for this one. As it's a clear resin piece, and let's go ahead and get our parts cleaned up. Get them in some water, and just quickly rinse them off. And I'll use my compressor or my airbrush to get the what do you call it? Parts dried up. There we are. Very nice. So let's see here. Ian says, I do the washer thing to tailgaters in Atlanta. Yeah, it's fantastic. And he says, unless it's a Hellcat, they will shoot at you. I know electric cars aren't the most popular thing, but I am kind of curious to see how the Hellcats or the new Dodge electric cars are going to turn out. I'm kind of curious. Because if they're just leaning into what electric cars can actually do, that's probably not a bad thing. I am being honest. Like one of the cool things about the electrics is just how fast they accelerate. The fastest accelerating I've ever been was in a Kia EV6 GT, and that thing put me back in my seat. That was insane, and I wasn't expecting that at all. All right, so let's grab our container to clean our parts in, and I'm just going to, I could, I'm getting water everywhere right now. I could just do one of these things where I open up the top of the bottle. There we are. Empty all that water out. I'm going to slowly spray it in place. I'm going to go ahead and get our parts put in here. There happens to be a beard hair in there, so that's wonderful for this model. And let's grab one of our crappy brushes here. Saved a couple of my least favorable brushes for this process. Let's grab one of the big liner brushes. And just quickly going to just get these parts washed off real fast. Set off to the side for the second. You don't need to be super crazy about it. You can also, what I recommend doing, take this into your sink and wash them real quick. Don't use hot water, because if you use hot water, you can actually melt the resin, which you don't want to do. And just dry them off however you'd like to do. But once again, we're just using this as a way of cleaning off the agent that they use to separate it from the molds, or in this case, just resin, although this looks like it's 3D printed. So I'm wondering, maybe I should take a little bit of IPA. And after they're dry from the water here, not all of them. Yes, it is. After I dry them, you can actually see, kind of hard to pick up, but you can see a little bit of clouding inside there. So it definitely picked up some of that agent on there. And I'm going to slide that out of the way because knowing me, I will step right in that like a genius with a capital J. All right. So it's going to go ahead and open up my valve on my airbrush. And let's go ahead and dry our parts off real fast. And I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of the IPA and quickly brush off our parts before we get these primed. Figure we're going to do some painting, so I have the airbrush ready to roll. And just quickly air drying these. So I'm realizing I might have to tap into that wire that I created last week. Because I'm going to need 2 LEDs for the cockpit. Or do I? No, only the one. Because the back wall isn't going to be lit up, I don't believe. So I need to take a look at the instructions and figure that out. We're almost done drying off here. And the last piece. There we are. Ken says the term break a leg is used in acting. The term find a beard hair in your water is used in model building. That is so true. Yeah. Oh man, I shaved the other day for the first time in a minute. I was babooning it a little bit there, and needless to say, there's beard hair everywhere. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just grab a little bit of IPA here. Let's get it into our jar. And I'm quickly just gonna go ahead and take a little bit of our IPA and wipe off the pieces. As it does look like this was 3D printed. And I know that IPA is one of the agents you're going to use to clean that. Speaking of generosity as well, continue to be amazed by all you guys. Dave, Relentless Storm, over on YouTube. You guys are on our Discord. You'll definitely know who Dave is. He was offering up a wash and cure station last month. And so I decided to go ahead and pick that up as I want to start getting into 3D printing. It's going to be a little bit before I can afford to get the printer itself, but I'm fine with that as I I have a lot on my plate. But one of the things that I really want to get into doing is 3D printing and getting the wash and cure station for free is going to be a big thing to help. That's just going to be like $100 or so that you don't have to spend, but I'm not going to have to spend on the wash and cure, so which is fantastic. So I really appreciate it. This community continues to astound me, as always. Ken says, smooth as an android's bottom, there, Data. And my favorite thing is where Data like rubs his face and then he kind of gives him that sly look like, yeah, no. All right, and this is our last little bit, but yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into some 3D printing. Don't need to do anything crazy. I've been looking, man. I'm seeing that the new Saturns are like $400 for like a good one, and so that's what I'm looking at. But I'll keep my eye out and see what we got. My 3D printing needs are not going to be crazy. I imagine that it's going to be done a lot for like work with creating Arduino mounts and like glue holders and bottle holders and stuff like that. Um, so I don't imagine that's going to go too crazy, but I also want to kind of get into working with getting some figures painted and printed and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm excited. I have in anticipation anticipatory in anticipation of getting ready for that. I went ahead and just ordered the other night. I'm waiting for it to show up. 2 gallons of 91% IPA. So that's going to be interesting. All right. So let me grab. Do I just use? Yeah, let's just use the Amazon package. Why not? So let me grab the Amazon package, and I'm just going to use this as my place to paint. And let's start with painting that. Oh, getting all sorts of messages. Oh, perfect. Jason, Mindful Modeling. Got your email. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Just looked over and saw my phone just kind of going a little crazy. So anyway, we need to go ahead and start getting our parts painted, and I want to go ahead and get them primed in a base coat. So let's start with our clear resin piece, and I want to let's grab have my all my different little glue pieces for my handle here. So I'm going to take off my 2 amazing figures there. We'll come back here before the end. Let's go ahead and grab cap. And that. There we are. Grab our console. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and paint this. So we're going to be lighting it up. Let's take a look to see the instructions real fast. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. So where did I put those? There they are. So the 3mm LED is designed to come up through the bottom. Okay. It's going to be done in only the one LED, so we're good to go on that front. So it says, if you will be lighting your cockpit, paint the center console's photo etch parts before assembly. Then mount them to the center console, mask the through holes in the photo etch, and then paint before attaching the decals. Whoa. Okay. So we want to paint them before assembly. I need to obviously prime them, so that's something we should think about doing real quick as well. Mask the through holes in the photo etch. And paint the assembly before. Oh, I see what they want us to do. Okay. Okay. All right. So the only thing that gets lit is this console one right here, as it's done in clear parts. And we need to kind of take an approach with that where we're going to get our photo etch attached first before we paint our piece. Okay, so I'm just reading through it. We need to put our photo etch in place. Then we need to mask off the photo etch itself, and then we need to put our light blocking color, which we're going to go ahead and paint in black. So I'm going to set this off to the side just like that. Let's go ahead and get our tub painted black. So we will do. Do we want to do that? I'm wondering if we should actually go ahead and work on getting some of our decals and actually working through the assembly properly. I see. Okay. Sorry, I'm just kind of talking to myself here. We could backlight these, and it does have. This is a part that fits in the model itself, and I believe it kind of sits off to the back just like this. And it has a part for LED to run through. So I'm not going to worry about that too much right now. So let's go ahead and actually, as much as I want to start painting, I'm glad our parts are taken care of there. I want to actually start working on the photo etch here and the decals. And so I need to go and prime the photo etch first. Thank you. Yep. Thank you, Ian. I appreciate that. Black primer the photo etch. Should I do the Mr. Metal primer first? Eric stopped by. How you doing, Eric? He's asking how everyone's doing this fine evening. I haven't glued my fingers yet, so we are doing good. All right, perfect. So Ian is definitely saying prime that. So I'll go ahead and bring back this because I don't want to get the primer on there. This. Grab our Mr. Well, there's my address. Grab our Mr. Metal Primer R. Let's grab a brush. Oh, this stuff has a smell. It really, really does. All right. So I am going to grab this brush here and go ahead and start priming our pieces. Let's make a quick thin coat. Don't need to go too crazy with the stuff. And the Mr. Metal Primer R, what it does, protects the metal and is a primer. And it protects the metal specifically from corrosion over time. But you don't need to go crazy with it. Just a small amount's totally fine. It's likely that the brush is loaded up with enough for that. Perfect. Get all of our console pieces, which I can tell are these ones here. This photo etch is actually really nice. Kind of surprised. All right, and there's another piece of the console down here, way down at the bottom. There we are. Eric says, yep, love the optimism. Awesome. Ken says, on the scale of 1 to awesome, he's super great. Love it. Beautiful. All right. So those are only going to take just a minute or two to get dried, as I'm only going super thin layers. I'm not putting too much down here at all. We're going to get both sides of the photo etch. I will put this band, which is a metal band, I will put this around the outside of the cockpit. On the outside. And we'll see how much of this I can actually use. I'm not quite sure. Sorry about the burp there, guys. I'm not sure how much I'm able, I can't remember what, excuse me. I can't remember what glue I used to put this together. So I don't know if I can use a debonder if I use CA. I don't know if I can use a debonder to pull apart the landing gear. So we will see. I am going to display this landed, but without the ramp down. Actually, excuse me, landed with the ramp down. As with the ramp up, it kind of looks like ass. So, if I'm being real. Okay. Let's get less of that. And I'm thinking I'm going to leave the grills over the engine vents. I'm going to go ahead and leave them as is. As the model is sealed up, and I don't want to try to unseal it as I used Tamiya on it. Not the extra thin, actual like Tamiya. The regular viscosity. All right, so there is our Mr. Metal Primer R put on place. We're going to let that dry for just a minute. It doesn't take much time. And then, let's see here. Yeah, the stuff dries really quick, so let's go ahead and get our brush cleaned up. Looks like the our two cats were out of totally off subject, I know. It looks like our two cats were out of dry food, so they just got wet food for the second time today, and I think their minds are just being blown at this very second. Soji is currently sitting over there going, "Oh my god, this is amazing." All right, so we got our brush cleaning up. Let that dry for just a moment. And everyone, we're all caught up on chat. It's fantastic. Yeah. It's actually, I gotta say, a lot of fun building this model. It's interesting building three different Falcons, and I think they're all preparing me for each one, and specifically this one, which is, like I said, going to be the paint mule. So, all right, while we're waiting for that to dry, we're going to need to spray that black after it's done, let that dry, and then we can work on folding everything put into place. So, let us work. I guess we can do a little bit of painting here real quick. So let's go ahead and start with grabbing our tub. There we are. And let's grab some flat black. Eric says incoming that definitely needs to be started. Incoming Ian level farts from the cats. That is very true. Soji and Mochi are sisters from the same what do you call it? The same litter. And so they are two peas in a pod, so to say. So if one gets, the other one definitely will. So, all right, let's go ahead and grab our flat black here. Man, I just bought this pot of paint, and I used almost this entire pot of paint for the Enterprise C light blocking on the saucer section. I did not want any light to get through that whatsoever at all. That was just not a thing that I was going to let happen. So I went ahead and put like 3 heavy coats of paint inside, and I sure as hell got my light blocking taken care of. And I got to be honest, I'm pretty pleased with how that turned out. I wish that I had thought about lighting from the very beginning, because I would have done some things differently. But yeah, I was really pleased with how that turned out. So let me grab a alligator clip here. And I'm just leaving the Ian level farts across just on the screen. Let's go ahead and awkwardly grab that. Ken says, "Oh my God, quick, everyone, let's start Googling cat farts. What have I done?" But I love this airbrush. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. Oh, I got the air pressure set up. I do have a little pressure valve, so I'm able to adjust my pressure. I had that blasted all the way up. The beauty of this airbrush is it really works on like the atomization, so you can kind of stick any paint in here so far that I found, and it will work just fine. So let's go ahead and get this painted. We're going to approach this in a couple of short, thin, quick thin coats. So funny on the perfect grade, how the cockpit is this hodgepodge of the stock kit and the Paragraphix set. I'm hoping that I don't mess this setup. I'll get a little thicker on there. Don't need to paint the bottom, so we're totally fine with that. We're not trying to light block down there. All right, so there's that. Very nice. Let's go ahead and set that off to the side to dry for a little bit. Now let's grab another alligator clip and let's grab the doorway here. And this is gonna the lower portion of this. So this is going to sit over the top of this right here, and it will look just like that. But I am going to spray them in two separate pieces. Ah, thank you, Ken. So this little piece on the bottom of the airbrush is a micro air controller or a Mac valve. I picked this up at Ken's recommendation, and I've been able to set my airbrush now to 30 psi just at the compressor, and I'm able to adjust it as I see fit. And once again, with the Iwata, the HPCS, the Eclipse, it you can really spray this at any viscosity. I've gotten it down to like 5 or 6 psi, and I've been able to spray the paints for the Enterprise C that I thinned for that crappy little handheld compressor thing that I had back in the day. It's pretty amazing. So, um, this is an amazing airbrush. I cannot recommend it enough. So, along the bottom here, as you can see, that's going to sit below the cockpit. Right down below, there's a lower tab there. So, where I have that clipped up is going to be totally fine to not have paint there. So, let's go ahead and get that painted. And it just lays down paint. So nice. Gosh. Ah, that's glorious. I think I bought my first airbrush. Oh, goodness me. Probably about 10 months ago. And I have learned so much since then. It's crazy. All right. So there's that one all taken care of. Set that aside to dry for just a couple minutes. Thankfully, it's Tamiya, so you don't have to wait too long. Oh, no. Eric says, don't. I just realized I drive to Detroit, and I drove to Detroit and didn't think to check out the Michigan Toy Soldier Company. Oh man, I so my dad. It's interesting. I haven't been, but I know a bunch of you guys happen to be in Detroit and in the Michigan area, like Dash and others. My dad grew up in Detroit. Started in Pontiac and then grew up in Detroit. And so it's on my bucket list of places to go. And if I make it my way out there, I'll make sure to let you guys know. And maybe if I happen to meet you guys, that'd be pretty cool. So, all right, let's grab. Oh, the chairs themselves are. We're going to go ahead and paint those the kit color. So I'm going to go ahead and prime that. Should probably prime that in white. Yeah, I'll do that. And then we have our rear chairs, which are black and white, but I'm going to go ahead and just paint them black to start. So, see if I can get that to focus up. It helps maybe if you put your hand behind that, Jordan. So there's the chair. Pretty good detail, actually. I'm really surprised. Looks really good. Really surprised, actually. So let's go ahead and get some paint on here. And it doesn't take much with this airbrush. And what's funny is tonight, I've been lazy this week, and having some difficulty getting some recording done lately, of course, for various reasons. But tonight, after I get done streaming and eating dinner and all of those things, um, I'm going to be recording the D'Agostini Falcon episode for tomorrow. So I got to record it tonight, edit it tomorrow morning, and release it for tomorrow morning. I am going to be building the weapons ports, which is pretty cool considering that we just worked on them on the Perfect Grade Falcon not too long ago. And I'm going to kind of be painting all of these things roughly about the same. Ken asked Eric, did you visit Dash after? And Eric says, I would be afraid to try to run me over with his tractor. Get off my lawn, stranger. Ken says, fair enough. I'm pretty sure all you have to say is HTM. We'd be fine. And that's the great thing about this community is we are from all over this country and the world. And there's so many different viewpoints and different experiences we can learn from each other and different ways of modeling. I've learned so much since joining this group and continue to keep learning. And can't wait to repay all the kindness that's been bestowed upon me whenever I possibly can. So there's that chair taken care of. And I realized that we didn't paint the doorway here. So let's go ahead and get that painted. Eric says, Howard, hit the brakes. It's me, from the guy from the internet. Internet guy. And Ian says, I am so diplomatic. It's nature of my job. One would say, and many would say, that I'm probably too patient. I often always see the good in all people and tend to give people more chances than maybe they're worth. But I don't see that as a personality flaw at all. But I can tell you, it does make things really difficult at work sometimes. No, I really like the guy. I see the potential in him, and my crew's just like, bro, get rid of him, please. For the love of God. All right, so there's our doorway all primed up. Let's see here. Let's go back, and before I need to clear out my pot of paint, let's go ahead and hit all of our pieces one more time. Let's get the final coats on there. These are parts that you're really not going to see. This isn't light blocking, but I just want to be thorough with my paint. So there's our tub all painted up and nice. Just with thin coats, I don't want to go super crazy as well. Like, we don't need to drown these in paint today. So, as I'm going to be going over them with different colors later on. All right. And there's that all taken care of. Trying to remember the order in which I did things. There we are. One more time on the seat. Just a little bit of paint. And then we'll go ahead and clear out our pot. Putting this up in my putting all the things to dry up in my little tool holder up here. There we are. And the piece that I just painted, but is already most of the way dry, except for the little spot in the middle. And there we are. All right, so there is our flat black painting all taken care of. Used most of my paint, but let's go ahead and get the rest of that out of the pot and get cleaned up. Eric says, Ian, Jordan is still young enough to hold off the inevitable journey towards becoming a curmudgeon. It will get him as he ages and becomes more jaded. Um, yeah. I could say that it is not as easy for me as it has been before in the past at holding the attitude. I turned 42 exactly 1 month from today, actually. Oh, crap. I turned 42 a month from today. And I am starting to feel 42. I know most of you guys are like, oh, shut up, you young buck. Um, but, as I have definitely crossed over into the next age bracket, so to say, into midlife, I haven't hit the crisis yet. At least I don't think. I haven't had the compulsion to go buy a sports car or a leather jacket yet. But, Amazon's waiting for me, so we'll never know. Here, let's pull that off the screen. Cheated Jordan. Sounds like the job for the bedazzler. Okay. So occasionally it's happened. It doesn't happen too often, but I have occasionally found a pair of Nike Air Jordans like out in the wild that's like left on the side of the road, like old shoes or whatever. And anytime that I do that, I will take a picture of one of them with my face right next to it. And I'll send it to Kat and be like, hey, look, I found a pair of Jordans. And I always get the same response. Oh my God, you're ridiculous. So, also meant to share, God, I'm all excited about sharing this. So I farted in the walk-in yesterday, and I was just in there, and I happened to fart, and I had had some euros the night before, and yeah, uh, it was in the walk-in for several hours, just hanging out. Just gotta say. God, I can't believe I just shared that. uh, the other beauty of the Iwata is the ability to just dump the cleaning the Iwata takes nothing. So Eric says, would it surprise you that my Discord channel is called Curmudgeons Anonymous? LOL. Um, Actually, it would because you're generally really funny, Eric. So, but that's probably where the hilarity comes from. Ian says, I'm only 45 and been a curmudgeon since I was 20. And yeah, he definitely gets to laugh my ass off on that one. All the talking, definitely got to drink a bunch of water. All right. So let's go ahead and grab our flat white. Need to grab some more of my, what are they called? Pipettes. This bag was packed full just a couple of months ago. I need to order some more of these here soon. I am not at all trying to save them. I use them, throw them away. Just done. Like I don't care. They're cheap. I mean, I recycle them, guys. I recycle them. Yeah, I do that. I saw that. Here you go. Jordan serves his farts chilled, it seems. And Ken says, LOL. Yeah, so I I kept laughing and I'm like, do I share this on stream? And then the more it was happening, the more I was like, oh yeah, I'm sharing this on stream tomorrow. Yeah, it was a cooker for sure. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and grab just a small amount of our flat white here. I'm only gonna do the 2 chairs as the base coat. And I may not even thin this down. The beauty of the Iwata is that you don't really need to thin the paint. It'll just kind of go. So let's see how we're doing here. Yeah, I need to turn down or turn up the pressure just a little bit. Always listen to your airbrush. It will tell you whether you are, if you're spitting or whatever. And I had to turn up the pressure a little bit as I'm not thinning down this paint as well. So Todd says revenge is a dish best served cold. That's right. And referencing the perfect grade stream from last night, I can see Tony asking Ian later why the fridge smells like old garlic bread, cheese, and ass. I can picture Ian opening the fridge door, sticking ass in, going, "Ah," and then closing the door. Oh, Ian, please tell me you don't do that because I can see it. All right, we're going to go ahead and base coat these in flat white real fast. As these are going to get the same color paint as Kit, actually, on his PMD seats. And it's going to be the wooden deck tan is what we're going to be using. So I wanted a lighter base color for that. Ken says, I have never left a fridge IED. Oh my God. I am so calling that at work now. Oh. Yes. This is great. All right. Let's go ahead and set that one off to the side to dry for a few minutes. Grab one more of our alligator clips. And these are the only things that I've ever bought at Hobby Lobby, by the way. We have a bunch of them in our area, and I just don't buy anything there. I got a Hobby Town, and I do most of my stuff I buy my paints and my chemicals at Hobby Town as long as they have it. But I don't really buy too much at the stores. I much prefer buying it online. Eric says that could be intro short for his YouTube channel, alt channel, Commander Code Brown. There is no way. It goes, Bert. It sounds like a rubber chicken stuck on an exhaust pipe. I have a VW Beetle that is sinking in a lake. Oh my God, yes. As Ken says, that is quite a specific quote, Todd. I'm sure that's how Ian's butt sounds, Todd says. I've experienced it in person, people. I've personally experienced, and it is not friendly. It is just as bad as you guys think. This has to get a star real quick, and so does that. Wet fart skins. You ever been to the La Brea tar pits? Fart skins. Oh, fart skins was like one of the very precious things that I took home with me from Wonderfest, and not just Ian's fart skins, like actual physical fart skins, but the phrase fart skins. And if guys aren't aware of what fart skins are, just use your imagination. Okay. Let's go ahead and let those dry for a little bit. I'm seeing a little bit of that gray coming through again, so let's go ahead and... I love Tamiya and how fast it dries. It's fantastic. Let's come back to the first one here. And these, once again, are just going to get the wooden deck tan treatment And then we'll go ahead and throw a wash, an acrylic wash in there. There we are. All right, all of our parts are primed up. Let's take a look at our photo etch, see how it's doing. All right, perfect. It's nice and dry. So let's go ahead and get the rest of our paint out of here. And leave that hanging out there and somehow not create a gigantic mess. There we go. There's paint out. I do like the fact that I don't have to thin it. I do like using a flow improver to, help with, drying time and what have you. But it's becoming less and less necessary, I found, after getting a proper airbrush and compressor. Thanks to Todd and Ian. Eric says, my mouse is all over the place here. Todd, you need to go to, you definitely need to go to Sticker Mule and do this. Todd needs to get a handout sticker that says fart skins. I'm sure it would confuse the hell out of people. I'm sure it would too. That is hilarious. And Todd, if you do that, go to either Ian's or if you go to my link tree on one of my videos, either one of us will get a commission for that if you want to make those. On my link tree, there'll be a link to click to buy your own stickers. I love it. I might steal that and make one for myself too. I've just purchased my last sticker order, so sticker orders are soon to ship. I'm excited about that. I've been collecting random addresses for your local pack mail places. So I'm going to send them there for you guys and expect you to be able to pick them up, no problem. Even if you don't have an account, it should totally be fine, right? Eric says he could have gave one to Norm from Tested. Norm is a super cool guy and happens to be working with one of the great heroes in the model making community, and Adam Savage. But get the sense that he's kind of like a little socially awkward as well. But he's also a bit of a internet celebrity, so he's probably approached all the time with weird people like us, like,
hey guys, you guys want to smell this?
Anyway, I am sorry. Well, on that front, let's go ahead and I crack myself up. I really do. All right. So now let's go ahead. I should have. It's fine. It's fine. Let's go ahead and grab our flat black again. Okay. I'm going to leave my address just out of frame there. A lot of you guys have it, but at this point, don't want the world having it. So. Oh, I think Todd said it first, but then quickly Ken comes in right afterwards. Could you get them as scratch and sniff? Eric says that would be epically hilarious. Oh my god. Hilarious, yes, but would you really want that? Would you though? Would you? All right, let's go ahead and get some of our flat black in here. Beautiful. And let's get our photo etch painted now that the Mr. Metal Primer R is dried. So, there we are. Didn't even need to thin that. Once again, I love this stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and start. Both of these pieces that I'm painting right now, these weird looking ones, sit along the side of the cockpit and help frame the outside, which is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and hit each one of our panels here. And I gotta say, this may be blasphemous, I don't know, But this photo etch, the holes on the photo etch seem a little nicer than the one on the perfect grade, if I'm being real. Let's go ahead and prime. We'll worry about that part later. It needs to be primed in white. All right. But the holes for the lights that come through the photo etch seem a little nicer than on the perfect grade. But I could be wrong. Okay. Let's go ahead and get the main part taken care of here. Compressor's got a very small tank. I do apologize for the sound if you guys hear it. Ah, the smell of Tamiya first thing in the evening. Gotta love it. I do like the smell of Tamiya. No, I'm not a big drinker, but the alcohol base does smell really nice. I do have to say. We're just going to go ahead and drop 2 coats right now while it's running. Dries super quick on the photo etch, so we don't need to worry about too much of that. Let's hit each one of our console pieces again. Hit our big piece there. That piece there. There. And then, that's cool. For the sake of fun, we'll do one of these. Pull that up. And got some Paragraphix. Oh, let's go back to some chat here real quick because, get me going on laughing. Eric says, hey, look, it's the Fart Skins guys. Can I have your autograph? Now, would the autograph be like a Rorschach painting of like a pair of underwear, like when you cake them and then you pull them apart? Jason, I'm glad I'm not monetized. Depends on whose fart is used as the reference fart. Ian says, if you use my post caffeine dump in the morning, people may not survive. Even I have to hit the vent fan button. Andy Warhol, yeah, exactly. Is that impressionist? Eric says, Jordan, you shouldn't be ashamed of your small tank. And Ken reaffirms it's how you use it. It's not the size. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so this photo etch is not going to take long to dry. Let's get our stuff all cleaned up here. Got a little bit of paint left in the pot there. Andy Warhol, yeah. Looks like a Jackson Pollock. Oh, man. As my dad would say, how many stripes you got in there, son? Are you an admiral yet? My dad was just a big kid. If you guys haven't figured out where I've gotten that from. Todd has been quiet. He is definitely playing with this torpedo. Todd is doing the Lord's work and probably doing work on his website. And as I've gotten a sneak peek into the amount of work that goes into each one of those posts, it is likely what he's doing. And yeah, doing the Lord's work for all of us, and definitely working on the U-96 if he's got anything going on. Todd, is that what you're working on? I know, Ian, you built 12 stages of the Enterprise yesterday. I can sense just some wanting to be done with that model. I understand. I can tell you I've been having a lot of fun building it again after taking some time off and building it for a little while there. It really is a fun kit to build once you realize that you're in for some work. So, okay. Just getting my airbrush finished cleaning up here. And start working on getting our decals put on as soon as our photo etch is dry. All right. So, airbrush is all taken care of. There are our decals. Got a bunch of garbage sitting around on the workbench now at this point. Perfect. It's all done. And we will work on this part here in just a little bit. Set that off to the side as I sit here and talk to myself. Ian says more of Jordan being diplomatic. The fan home enterprise is a hot mess. I got to be real. I see why and I understand why. But I am early enough in the build that I know that it's a hot mess, and so being that I expected it to be a hot mess, it I'm allowing it to be that way, and I'm totally fine with it. You guys haven't noticed in the last couple of episodes, I've been really struggling with some things. And so, yeah, I mean, the model is very difficult to build, but it's those end results, man. Like just getting the forward section of the saucer section, like all taken care of. Like, my God, it looks so good. Seeing Cisco's Enterprise complete, the Todd did, like, my God, that looks amazing. So it's the end result. Like Ian with you, it's going to be the 350, right? The 350 refit. That thing is a nightmare. And you're doing the D as well. And so yeah, I can only imagine, like, for some of you guys building it and then having to wait a long time and then come back to it later on, like, and just continuing to deal with the jank. I'm sure that it's frustrating. So, one of those things where, definitely makes sense. Oh, well, got a little bit of paint on my work mat here. Let's go ahead and grab some of our airbrush cleaner and a towel, as I have now made a gigantic mess of my workshop / bedroom / place where I sweat. Am I right? When Todd was in here, it was pretty awesome, but I was like, wow, this room gets small real quick. uh, Eric says, at the beginning of your last video, when you were troubleshooting the Enterprise, it looked like it was a crash scene on your desk. Have yet to watch that episode. Man, it is tough to watch other creators work as well. Like, when we're all content creators, like, it can be really challenging to build your own stuff, do your own thing, and then catch up. I still need to watch the last video, Ken's TIE Fighter build, and if you guys haven't, you should definitely check that out. And anything that Ian is building, you should definitely be checking out his videos as well. And there's a link down below to Hobby Time Modelers in the description of the video. And if you guys aren't subscribed to their channels already, you'll find that on our main site there. So, yeah. All right. Now, I'm going to grab an actual proper set of hobby knives. And let's go ahead and grab. Oh, God. It's supposed to be precision, but we'll see. Gonna go ahead and grab our big hobby knife here with the angled piece. Now I'm going to use this to separate our pieces off of the sprue. Although, no, I should definitely do that. There we go. Oh, that works great. There we are. Just quickly separating it off of the sprue. Wow, there's our Some interesting placements for these connectors. Very interesting. Huh. So they have them, and what I mean by that is they're sitting kind of right in between here as well. It's hard to pick up where my finger was there. Apologize. There we are. So, the rest of these off. And then I'm going to need to go get some water real quick for the decals. Wow, this is interesting way of, well, just a lot of connections for this photo etch, which is interesting. I don't know why it's interesting, but it is. I'm realizing I was probably doing too much work there. Okay. Am I missing any one of those? Okay, down below. Real quick, 1 second. I'm going to have to take a work call. 1 second. My apologies, guys. Work calls, and it always makes me nervous because, as you guys may know, I'm constantly getting called into work. There's a large catering order tonight, and there was an issue with one of the parts of the order. So, yeah, occasionally just answer the phone, and it always makes me nervous. Like, oh God, you don't need me to come into work, do you? I started work this morning at 7 my time. I'm not in down for that. Okay. So there is our photo etch taken care of. Very good. Jordan, something is wrong with the walk-in. It smells like a wet dog died in it. Yeah, that could actually. That is a great comment. Love it. And Ken says, it would be nice if the science fiction model community would keep up with the rest of the model communities. Some companies do photo etch, the connection points were removed, held in place by plastic. Yeah, I agree. What I find I'll just talk as I'm going into the other room. I apologize. I'm just going to grab some water for the decals. But what I find is that, science fiction in general, is often ignored for whatever reason. And it's a little frustrating as someone who's a big fan, right? And so, yeah, I would like to see quicker turnaround on some model kits, like the armor modeling community. Like Andy's hobby headquarters, Andy's drink. Um, Andy's, like, what he does with all the new kits that he's constantly putting out, like, it's amazing to me, like, how armor and, like, aircraft and Gundam and all the rest, they get so many new model kits, and yet we're still stuck with this repop, right, of the MPC Falcon, for instance, that's the same tooling since the 70s. The Refit Enterprise A, right? Or the Refit Enterprise. Like that kit is a notorious Widowmaker, right? And so, and then it takes forever to get new model kits like the Cerritos, for instance, from Lower Decks. Like they've been talking about it. It was announced last year, late last year, and it's still yet to come out, you know, and it's just like, come on, you guys. So yeah, I really wish that a little more love was paid to the sci-fi model community. It's a great comment, Ken. Especially from Ken too, who builds both military and sci-fi. That's a great comment. Love it. Okay, so the first things first, let's go ahead and get our decals out, and I'm busting out my nice X-Acto blades. So let's take a look here, and we will start with number G, which is going to be this one right here. And so for this, let's go ahead and zoom in, move that out of the way. So for that, and with Paragraphix, their decal sets, you need to cut exactly where you mean to go and nowhere else. So I'm going to very carefully cut. Right along the very edge. There we are. You can imagine that I'm sticking my tongue out and doing the concentrated look face. There we are. Very carefully set that very sharp X-Acto knife off to the side. Let's grab section G. So, show you what that looks like. So that's what that piece is. And this one is going to go right up along here like that. So let's go ahead and get it into our water. Excuse me, sorry. For whatever reason, and I don't know what it is, but whenever I stream, my nose starts to run. The craziest damn thing. Super weird. Usually I have to have a towel nearby just so I can blow my schnoz. My schnoz. I can't put it up on screen right now, but Eric says it's like they make more paint colors for military and fantasy gaming. Sci-fi seems to be an afterthought. Exactly, Eric. Yeah, you don't see a lot. Ken says you don't see a lot of slide molding and sharp details. Excludes Gundam, right? Ken says I'll put my manifesto up on Discord later. Yeah, I'm interested in reading that. Sci-fi needs more love, just in general. So I can't disagree with you at all on that front. Okay, what I'm going to do now, get my excess water off. Then, not the biggest fan of decals, but these ones are fairly nice. So, get that right in there. They're actually properly put in its place. Ah! Oh my god. Curled up. So I'm going to get it back into its water. Oh my god. Touch it with my hand. Wow. Well. Grab my other pair of tweezers. Curling up like a dead spider right now. This is lovely. This is lovely. Oh my god. Oh my god. Just looked up and saw that. Eric says, Ken, you're not going all Ted Kaczynski, are you? The modeling Unabomber. Never mind. Sorry, YouTube. Now, I do know that Paragraphix decals are fairly forgiving. They should, as long as I'm being patient here, should be able to make this work. There we go. I'm going to get some of my decal softener here. I did order the last little bit of tester stuff I'm using right now is the decal softener. I did order today some of the Mr. Hobby, the Mr. Mark softer. There we are. But for the moment, I am still using. Oh, I can put it back on the paper in the water. I see as after I was already done. All right, what am I looking for? Yeah, the last little bit of testers that I'm still using is their decal softener here. So, and it actually works pretty good. I gotta be honest. But I did pick up the Mr. Mark softer. It is a funny name after all. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some of this decal setting solution on here. And there we are. All right, so not without incident, we got our first decal on. My God, me and this part on Paragraphix. Let me tell you. Let's see here. Eric says, Jordan, isn't that the same photo etch you glued yourself on the PG Falcon? That's correct. It is. They're actually, like I was mentioning earlier, and I don't know if you saw it, but these they're basically the same. And I still have that piece. It's just sitting in my model extra parts bin now at this point. So, but yes, Eric, it is 100%. So let's go ahead and get our next part cut. Let's grab H. And I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. I'll zoom in for the sake of you can see what I'm doing, but for you to see what I'm doing from that angle, I have to hold the parts really far away from myself. All right. And Chase says, good save, Jordan. And Ken says, nice recovery. Thank you. Man, me and decals, and this goes back to when I was a kid, and I'm sure it's the same for all of us. Decals are like one of the most nerve-wracking parts of building a model. Okay. So there's what that piece looks like. And that one's going to fit right here. So let's go ahead and get some of our decal setting solution down first. I did forget to do that last time. Let's go ahead and get that in our water. And it is going to go the other way around than when I'm holding it. Because, of course, Eric's saying hi to Chase. Very cool. All right. So now it's going to go this way around. Grab our decal. Didn't think I soaked it long enough there. Thought so. Hold that for a second. I'm not using hot water. I wasn't patient enough. So it takes just an extra second to get it on the back. I was thinking about picking up some paper to learn how to print decals as well. Okay. So now let's get it into its proper spot. Don't let it move around. And there we go. Set in its proper place. Beautiful. I'll grab some of our setting solution there. Put it on. Beautiful. All right. So that. Those two look like there. Very nice. And it is set up for lighting. So next time when we come back, I'll definitely need to add some LEDs to another set of LEDs to our set here. Okay. So we're going to grab M, which is the silver one to the right here. Grab that one. And these, I did just pick up these hobby knives, and I actually spent not like money on them, but I spent some money on them, and oh, so much nicer. I've been using the same hobby knife for a long time now, and just having ones with proper blades is very, very nice. I've changed out the blade a couple times, but they're not as nice as this. Excuse me. All right, so that's what that one looks like. Kind of hard to pick out the details, but they're there. And which way is this one going to go? The black box is going to be, so it's going to fit in there just like this. So let's go ahead and hold it like that, get it into there. Ken is saying, do you ever roll your decals down with a cotton bud? I've not really thought about that before. Or Q-tip. I just used the brush that I put the decal set solution on with. But I will actually give that a try. Let me get some of the set solution down. Doing this two-handed, not ambidextrous, so this is interesting. All right. All right, that should be good. Let's grab a Q-tip. Help if you release that. Let go. Oh, yeah. I like that. Oh, I like that a lot, actually. Softer than the Brussels on the brush. Then what I can do with the brush and the decal set, kind of toss a little bit underneath there to move it. Very good. Nice, Ken. Love it. Eric's asking, Ken or Ian, what's a good source to buy the Starship Filth panel liner? Most places seem to be about out of stock or want $20 for shipping, sadly. Ken's asking where you live, and Eric's in Michigan. I picked up my Starship Filth as part of the oil brusher set from Meg Jimenez Ammo. I got this with the black and the white for like $11 plus shipping. So it's not too bad, but it is an oil. So there's that. Okay, let's grab number R. Number R. Oh, wow, Jordan. IR educated. Wow. And what's funny is sometimes you don't realize how long it takes to just do things with modeling. Just look at the clock. I'm like, oh my God. Get towards the end here tonight. Okay. So there is that piece right there. That one's going to go right here. So let's go ahead and get our set solution on. Oh, testers. To be a kid again. All right, so it's going to go on just like that. Hold that. Oh, so Ken is saying, no, Jordan, once you have the decal in place, you then take the Q-tip and roll it over the decal, pushing it to the surface of the model. Ah, that makes total sense. and it also will do dual. I just saw the next comment. Dual purpose. It will also pull some of the extra water and moisture out of there where you don't want. Hold on. I will pull that out of the or the water for a second, just so I can put this up on screen. This episode of Sesame Street brought to you by the number Tard. Yes, I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. All right. Get our decal down. Let go of it with the tweezers and then pull. There we are. Very nice. Like, you have to kind of get into the groove with doing decals. I don't know about you guys, but kind of do. Just kind of got to get in the groove of it. And once you get in the groove, you're good to go. Oh, I love it, Ken. That's fantastic. And it's a little bit of the set solution over the top and let that dry up. Fantastic news. Yeah. Eric says, damn it, Ian. Now I have the sound of the count stuck in my head. 1, 2. Eric, I would recommend the oil brusher from Mig Jimenez. Once again, this thing is fantastic. And as Ken says, you could also try the oil brushes or oil paint and thin it into your own wash. Also a fantastic tip. Right, so we're going to grab part L here, or part L, sheet L, decal L, deck L. Crack myself up. And that's what that one looks like. There we are. I know this, guys. This is riveting watching me put decals on. I get it. But it is part of the Paragraphix set, so that's what we're building tonight, right? So I'm going to do this two-handed. I'm going to get down our set solution. Eric says, someone slap Jordan. Don't want to say that too loud. Cat might hear you. I'd see myself out, but this is my stream, so. Still one of my favorite things to say. All right. Grab this piece. I am leaving just a little bit here at the end, so I have something to grab that's not the decal. There we are. There we are. Beautiful. Get that slid over into its place. The beautiful thing about the set solution is it does kind of give you the ability to hop up underneath the decal and get it set down properly. Beautiful. Rocket made an appearance with Ian. Came down to get some Tostitos. I love it. And that's what that is looking like so far. I'm going to try to get all these decals on before we wrap up the stream today. So let's get the next one, which is going to be, I'm assuming, O or Q, which is going to be this one right here. There we are. As soon as the stream's over, probably going to go for a walk, but then, man, I got to get some food. I got home from work like 40 minutes before the stream started. And like I said, I had a couple things to take care of. And oh, buddy. I'm not going to read this one out loud. I'll just go ahead and put this on screen because I don't want to read that one out loud. Thanks, Ian. I really appreciate that. He says, looks good, Jordo. You're the second Jordan I have adopted in the last dozen years. That's awesome. um, so Ken's saying I don't have that wash either, as it is very new, but I do have the oil paint and would go that route. Um, Ian did properly dust me as he left stage right. That is so true. Oh, did he properly dust you? And Ian says no trailing farts from Rocket tonight. That's always good. Bulldog farts are always something. Okay. Did I cut this all the way out? Okay. Yes, I did. Okay. Trying to double cut that bad boy. And there is that piece with a tiny little bit of red coloring. All the rest of them have had zero coloring on them, which is actually how that goes. And let's get that in there. Let's get our set solution down on the decal or on the photo etch here. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing here. I can see that. Sorry. All right. Let's see how this one comes off. Turn towards me. Did I go long enough? I did not. Need to be a little patient with the cooler water. Yeah, it's actually, I don't mind the Paragraphix decals. The worst set that I've dealt with in recent modeling was with the 1000 scale Defiant. Those decals were pretty rough. Pretty rough, I do say. Okay. So, grab that, hold it in place, pull that off. Beautiful. Push this down into its recesses. And then just a little bit of our set solution. Fantastic. Oh, oh no. I didn't rip it. I didn't rip it. We're good. Trying to be all fancy there. Oh boy. Could get it back on the paper, of course, but I'm gonna try to do it this way again one more time. Nope. uh, all right. See if I can get this recovered here. Apologize for being quiet here for a second. Focusing. There it is. Nice. Like I said, the Paragraphix decals are pretty forgiving. This one is a little folded up here, but I think I was able to get it. Yes, I was. Slid back down into place. I need to get some of my set solution on there. Oh, okay. That's nice. uh, Ken says, Jordan, if you ever have too much water under your decals, you can start by putting the Q-tip next to the decal to absorb the excess water. Nice. All right. Yeah, it looks like a bit of a conversation between Eric and Ian there. Fantastic. All right, so got just a couple more decals to get on there, and we should be able to move on real quick. Well, move on for the rest of the night. Let you guys go and let me go eat. I'm getting hungry. Okay. So S is going to go on this side, and it's a slightly thicker decal. Grab that one there. Excellent. All right. So that's what that one looks like. Yeah. And okay, I have it going in the right direction. Let's grab our paintbrush that I keep putting everywhere but inside the set solution. There we are. Yeah. Yeah, next week, I think next week I'll continue to work on this. This has actually been a great model to work on stream with because it's not a model I'm taking too seriously, and I can kind of bounce ideas off you guys and all of that. But we're also going to get some decent results out of it as well. So let's finish up. Just a couple more decals to put on. Oh, that one came off nice. Let's do this echo. Turn off compressor. Okay, there we are. I love smart home stuff, especially when you forget to turn the compressor off in the middle of the night and it kicks on, and you have basically a quick poop in your pants. Didn't realize I was supposed to wear my brown pants to bed. All right, smaller piece here, and then just one more piece after this, I believe. Nope, got a couple more. We got this. But don't need to leave right at 7, but soon afterwards. There. Yeah, it's just like 3 more panels, it looks like. Does the C go on there? It does not. Yep, perfect. Yeah, it should be. I definitely will be back next week, and I should be on stream with Hobby Time tomorrow night. Ken asked, do you have brown sheets to go with the brown pants? Yeah, of course. Brown sheets make it so you never have to wash your sheets. Why does it look like that? I don't know. Hey guys, we shouldn't do that in the modeling community. We want women to like us. Okay. All right, let's grab that one there. Get it off of the sheet. Beautiful. I'll kill myself. No. My bench does sit at a slight angle over here, which is kind of annoying. For whatever reason, the condo that we live in, not exactly level here at this end of the house. There we are. Okay. Let's grab. Let's do the top one here. Tighten that up a little bit. Definitely the second one, Ken. Like us. Yes. We want them to like us. You hear that, guys? They're supposed to like us. I know. I know. Weird. It's also why I need to get off at 7 every single time. Need women to like us. I really need them to like us. Also, all about finding balance as well. I do spend a lot of time at the bench, so need to make sure I'm spending time with the person who actually likes me. All right. There's that piece. And it just goes right along the top right up there. Let's get our set solution on there. Paul, I see that. Oh, like I heard lick, my bad. All right, let's get this one put into place. A little bit of a funny piece here. Not like ha ha funny, but you know, funny. We're getting everything lined up properly. Getting our little sheet out of the way. Ah, no, don't do that. I don't want to try to do that with that with this one. Okay. This one is a bit of a difficult piece, but should be able to. Oh God. Because of course. Oh, we'll see how this one goes. Be quiet here for a second. I apologize. Just don't rip. Don't rip. Don't rip. Don't rip. It's ripping. Ah. No, no. Oh no. It's happening. Trying to soften up with some water here. Oh no. I think the travesty may have happened, y'all. Oh no. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I'm determined. I am determined. Oh God. Oh, almost. Uh, oh God. Yep. Oh God. Oh goodness me. Yeah, I definitely have a decal code brown going on here right now for sure. Uh, it's over. Well, that decal's done. It literally just ripped and disintegrated in my hands. That's fine. We're not going to see that part. Let's move on. I'm really not that worried about it. So the last two put into place. Let's read some comments real quick. Eric says, I've made it 24 years without the wife smothering with a pillow so far. Congratulations. Ken says, could be worse. We could be spending our money on booze and hanging out in bars and strip joints, coming home drunk. Very true. Wait, that was supposed to be pro modeling. Ian says, yeah, I just go to the bench and stay home to get drunk. That's right. Strip clubs are gross. That is also correct. Yep, decal code brown. Yep, It's okay. I'm not worried about it. It's in a least obvious spot, actually, of all of those. Eric says stripper glue will fix it. And Ian reaffirms we've all been there. Yep, I'm not worried about it at all. Once again, this is just a paint mill model, but of course, we want to do a good job. So I'll get these last two put on, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for the day. Yeah, I am definitely getting hungry here. I don't know what I should eat, though. And you guys can't help me with that. As I don't even know what's in my fridge, so how could you? I had takeout for lunch today, so I definitely got to eat at home tonight. Probably will make a some chicken of some kind. Probably a burrito. There we are. A burrito because I'm lazy. I've heard about the Uncle Roger spicy chili crab pasta, and I need to order some of that. Don't have enough. We generally don't eat a whole lot of processed food, but that'd be something that I would 100% keep around. I know that you say it's good, and I trust your palate, sir. So I definitely want to give those a order. He ordered 4 more last night. All right. Well, let's go ahead and grab our last decal and get it put into place. And let's go ahead and call it a night so we can get some food, at least for me. All right. Got our set solution down. Into the water we go. I ordered 2 and cried my eyes out, but it tasted so good. Yeah, I hear it's hot. Eric says Jordan could be worse. You could have put water on a dry transfer. Yep. Yeah, and I heard that the Uncle Roger spicy chili crab pasta has ghost chili pepper oil. Ooh, buddy. We just introduced at work something called tiger sauce, which is basically chili. I guess you would call it like it would be like a Frank's Red Hot buffalo sauce, but less buffalo-y, with honey and chili peppers in it. It's so delicious. Ian says it's hardcore shit. And I bet you, sir, it creates hardcore shit. All right. Last decal is going down just fine. Unlike the top part there. All right. Get our set solution on there, pushed into place. Grab our Q-tip. And voila. Outside of the top part that ripped, there it is. And I got to say, it turned out pretty good. One might say, I have to say, better than the perfect grade set for this because they don't have this weird little thing that they want us to put over the top, which is what glued it and caused problems on mine. So Ian says it creates hardcore sharts. Yep. That came out great. Also, entendre. Thank you, though. Yeah, actually, it did turn out really well, and I appreciate you reminding me, Ian, to paint that black in the background. I didn't do that on the photo on the perfect grade as well, and I was going to regret that after it happened. So, yeah, that's what I got, you guys. Ken says, as long as you aren't using tiger blood, Charlie Sheen reference. Yep. You could also, there are plenty of Charlie Sheen references that we could make here, but we don't because Charlie Sheen is, well, Charlie Sheen. And it's not glued to your finger. Exactly, Eric. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at everything else that we got done. So we got those, obviously. Let's go ahead and get this hobby knife put away properly. I'm always nervous about touching these damn things. All right, that's put away. Got our tweezers set off to the side, our water set off to the side so I don't make a damn mess. And so, as we saw, we have our photo etch piece all taken care of. Then we went through and we just base coated. So our tub, our door, our doorway itself, and we have our two rear chairs. Let's see how many of these things I can hold at once. And then we went ahead and base coated these in white so that we can go ahead and get our wooden deck tan on there for the next time. So yeah, I mean, overall, I probably spent the first 45 minutes or so of this stream kind of unpacking things and doing a little bit of mail call and hanging out. But once again, that's what the name of the game is. So that's what I got. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and, oh God, Eric, underwear eating farts. I bet, there are underwear that actually have filters right around your ass so that it actually will filter out fart smell. Ian should get those 100%. Chase says, fun stream, Jordan. Thank you so much. Eric says, looks good, Jordan. Thank you. And it is not glued to my finger. That is a huge win. Ken says, looking great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ian. Great work aligned in the stars. Jordan, thank you. Jordan's going to end the stream and be like, oh, Cat, I need to be slapped. A viewer said so. Do smash that like, everyone. Like button. I do appreciate it. Leave a comment if you guys so want. But all these chats, all this goes towards engagement. And that's something that I really appreciate. It definitely puts these streams towards more views, and a lot of people have been watching them. They're a lot of fun to do. I'm having a blast doing these every single week, and so we'll be definitely back next week for that one. Paul says, another great stream, Jordan. Hopefully I'll catch you in the other reprobates tomorrow night. Looking at you, Ian. Good night. I will be here tomorrow night where I'll be streaming with Hobby Time Modelers tomorrow. Ken says, take care. And activated carbon boxers, check. And on that note, my friends, I just want to say thank you. I'll be back next week at the same time for the Dockyards stream. I'll be with Hobby Time Modelers definitely tomorrow night and possibly on Sunday. And then be looking for the 43rd scale D'Agostini Falcon tomorrow morning. So that's what I got. Let's go ahead and get over to my final screen here as I don't forget to hit the outro button. I just want to say thank you all. I hope you all have a wonderful evening in this wonderful world where we happen to be. I know that there was a million things y'all could have done, and instead you spent a couple hours with me watching me gab on, jibber jabber as we do. And I just want to say thank you. Until we see each other again, my friends, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. And remember, since there's just me this time, without a producer, I'll just go ahead and say that, my friends, this is the way.